Hey, listen up. We got another episode of Wise Kracks, featuring the crack man himself, Bill Krackomberger, and our co-host, John Orlando, straight from Las Vegas. Wise Kracks is your ticket inside the world of sports betting, with tips, picks, special guests, and more. Only on WSN.com.
And we are back. Another week of Wise Kracks coming at you. I'm John Orlando, and I have, of course, Mr. Bill Krackomberger with me. Bill, I'm in the future studio, maybe, of Wise Kracks.
Oh, it looks great. I was there last week with Teddy Atlas when you let him. So nice of you guys to let him use the studio, and I like it. Looks the same. The Raiders helmets there. The Las Vegas Knights. You threw a basketball in because we're in NBA season.
Exactly. Good. You noticed that. I like that you noticed that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even like basketball, and I threw a basketball.
I got to be honest with you. Either do I. I'm not an NBA guy. I got really hardly any interest. I don't watch the games. I have my own opinions. So I'll keep them to myself right now. But,
all right. So I can't believe that this is Memorial Day weekend coming up. When I think about where we were at last year at this time compared to this year, at least it is a night and day difference, don't you think?
Yes. It's been packed up here for the weekends. You feel the vibe in the air. I got to be honest with you. I have no interest in going anywhere near the Strip this weekend during this holiday. And, and not only that, I know I'm not supposed to talk negative about these kind of things, but Strip's still not the safest place, though we really do have a really good police force that's cracking down and making sure there's as of now anyway, knock on wood, that there's no major incidents happening. So they're pretty tough, and they've been confiscating guns left and right. I think they took 6 guns off the Strip in 2 weeks. Wow. Mean, just think about that. It's insane. Are
you seeing that in the news, or I don't even watch the news?
What do you think? No way.
No. Okay.
Not
really. I didn't think
so. The guns
Okay.
I did read one article on, but you have to understand the media here, of course, John knows this. The media here is controlled by the casinos. Sheldon Adelson, his company owns the newspapers. The broadcast media is definitely controlled by the tourism board and the casino, which means the casinos, they're not going to let you hear anything really bad. But this is definitely, I'm not going to say one of the most, but I read it's in the top 10 dangerous towns now for certain things. So this, wow. People come here and they see the lights and the neon and say, oh, we should start over in Vegas. Let's start over. And they don't see beyond the neon, beyond the Strip. This is Vice Central, as I said on Showtime. Drinking, drugs, woman, gambling. Yeah. Wow. This is everything's here.
That's true. Everything is here. It's weird. Maybe because I came from LA, of course I know that all of that exists, but I don't feel like I'm in a dangerous city when I'm here. Do you?
Yeah. Well, you come from LA.
Is that what it is?
But no, I mean, listen, I live in a high rise. I'm pretty much protected. So I feel like I am, but I know that the home invasions are so bad here. I'm friends with a couple police officers. I'm actually friends with a captain, and he's getting ready to retire, 26 years. This is a very dangerous town.
Really? Home invasions is a big thing here?
Home invasions, you could Google it. We're in the top 10.
Come on.
We're in the top 10 states of home invasions.
You're literally blowing my mind right now. I didn't realize that.
Make sure you get a good security alarm for a house.
I've got this, you know what I use for security, Crack? I have this thing called the AR-15.
Okay. Well, that's a gun, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not too worried. Come on over. If you're not invited, come on over.
Yeah. I'm a licensed.
No worries.
I have a gun. I actually have a carrying permit, which I don't carry.
Me too.
I have a gun. And,
it's why don't you carry it?
I almost don't want to go into it, John. Because, because I God forbid I ever use a gun, I'm probably guilty. That's just the way it's going to be. I mean, it's just so I don't want to have to be fighting this in You know what I mean? Like I just, I listen, I'm an advocate for it. I don't get political about it.
Yeah.
I've always had a gun. I had a gun when I lived in Jersey. My wife and I went to the range. We shoot it. We know how to shoot it. It's a 38. It's not some crazy gun. And the carrying part, well, I don't know. I almost should in situations.
You should.
I have carried it.
Because
I can't have a situation, but I really don't go walk around with money though, like I used to do before the apps. When there was betting in the casino, and you had to bring 20,000 to make a bet or something, someone could jack you. But now, they can get a couple $100. That's about it.
Right, but the perception is that you probably do roll around with a lot of money.
You're right. You're right. People don't realize the betting is done on the apps, and you have a point.
The guys that carry, and I'm one of them. I carry. The old saying is, "I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6." Come on, crack.
Yeah. No,
I want you strapped in the streets.
And you know what? I feel bad talking bad about like it's so much crime here. Listen, I go to Atlantic City every other month. I mean, it's just as bad there. It's not. Yeah. This is not just Las Vegas, but I fear a little bit what's going to happen in these towns when all the free money stops being given away, when all the rents have to start being paid again. So I do fear that. And listen, we have an unbelievable town as far as tourism. I just talked really good about the police officers here, and I really feel protected when I see so many cops. There are so many cops. I live by the Strip, you know that. There are so many cops out at all times. It's unbelievable. But that's just any warm town where you have an element that is here. Any of these warm towns, I go to Florida. Everywhere I go in Florida, it seems like someone asks me for money on the street. I mean, no matter what, West Coast, East Coast, wherever I'm at, if I go to a Walgreens or a supermarket like that, someone's asking for money. It seems like, and of course here it's the same thing in Vegas. It seems like Walgreens is the spot, or Walmart, of course.
Did I ever tell you the time I was in Atlantic City and a guy put a gun to my head? Have I ever told you this story?
No.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell it on air. But I'll tell you, I'm going to sit because it's going in the book. I'm writing a book, but I'll tell you over lunch someday.
Okay. Yeah. The sing tie yellow ribbon like your father does.
Or else. Well, there's a lot to talk about on today's show. Obviously, we're going to talk about the Dodgers shortly. We're going to talk about boxing, basketball playoffs, all that stuff. But before we get to that, last week on the show, you kind of challenged me and said that Las Vegas didn't have good pizza. And I picked up the phone and I had pizza sent to you directly I even wore the shirt today, from IDK Pizza, Mr. Ryan Crowley over there. And I want to know, what did you think?
Oh,
be honest.
So much
you can be totally honest.
Oh, you don't think I would be honest? You don't know Bill Krackenberger, man. For all the garbage slop pizza we have here in town, I'll definitely. However, I was pleasantly surprised. I had his regular pizza, which you brought me, and the Sicilian pizza. Without a doubt, that Sicilian pizza is the best in town. It's the best here.
Really? Not
only is it the best here, I'll say it's up there with my top. Now, listen, I have pizza places back home in Brooklyn. L&B Spumoni Gardens is still one of my favorites. There's some other ones too that are my favorites back home. Brooklyn Square is another place, and it's in Jersey though. He has great pizza. For Sicilian now, we're talking about Sicilian pizza. There's a place in Atlantic City in Galloway. Oh boy, I forget his name. And it's in Absecon. It's right by Atlantic City though. When I'm in Atlantic City, I'll get pizza there and take it to go to the casinos or everything. He's got a great pizza there. They're directly from Italy too. Like accents real deep. You can't understand the language sometimes. They're fantastic. But this guy, and I think his father, you said, make the pizza there. Fantastic. I'll put it up there in my top 5 Sicilian pizzas of all time.
Wow.
Number 1 in Vegas.
Big words coming
out. It's round too, John. It's a round Sicilian. It's not a square traditional Sicilian. It's a round, real puffy. You know what I said the other day? I actually talked about him on a show I do on Sirius Radio. And I said, it really has a nice pillowy kind of feel. The guy was like, oh, pillowy. Yeah. It's just like a nice pillow of meat. Well, I didn't have meat on it. I had, the cheese and the sauce, and really good. So
it's round and cut in regular pizza slice shape.
Yeah, it's round and it's cut in a regular pizza slice shape. And I think I took a picture of it on my
Wow, I never eat Sicilian. I got to try this now. I got to try the pizza from the own place I sent you to. Oh, wow, that does look good.
Yeah, look at like the golden brown / burnt crust. It was really, really special. A real special pizza. I still didn't put out a big tweet for him, but I did answer some questions about it, and I actually tagged Ryan because he's on Twitter. So great job. I
love it. All right, well, moving on. Let's talk. Can we talk a little baseball real quick?
Sure.
The LA Dodgers are hands down right now as we record this, the hottest team in baseball. Crack. They've won 8 in a row. By the time our fans and listeners watch this show, they will have won 9 in a row because they're going to win tonight once again. Tell me you've been betting on them and riding this streak. Please tell me.
Absolutely not. If I was betting on them the whole time, it would have been trouble. But so they won 8 in a row, and listen, they're doing,
many of those 8 in a row by 2, more than 1.5. Yeah.
So they're coming around to their preseason expected form.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So and some other teams also doing the same. If you want to mention them.
Yeah. Tampa had won 11 in a row. They were really hot. It's so funny how it always works, right? Like the Dodgers in their division, you got the Padres, you got the Giants. Both of the Dodgers just swept the Giants, but the Giants and the Padres have been on fire as well. So the Dodgers really didn't gain too much ground other than when they beat the Giants. But yeah, the Padres have won 9 and 10. The Yankees coming back, won 6 in a row, I believe.
Yeah, no, the Yankees are playing well. Dodgers, of course, like you said, Padres, Tampa. These are all the teams that were supposed to play well. So they're coming back into their what they were supposed to be.
Yeah. And in the PGA world, the old guy, can I call him the old guy? The old guy, was a big one, right?
It was so exciting to watch this, especially on Sunday. Real exciting to watch Phil Mickelson win this tournament at 50 years old, and another PGA. He's won so many majors, and he's just he's amazing. He's incredible, really. Even though he was ahead on Sunday, he was an underdog on Sunday morning. He was plus like 3 to 1, where Koepka was plus 1.5 to 1. So he was the favorite. Wow.
And before the tournament, wasn't he something? He was like 300 to 1.
Am I reading that
correctly?
I actually heard that there was 325 to 1. Actually, yeah. So it was. He was really high up there. And listen, these 300 to 1 shots get there.
You're telling me, had I just put $1,000 on Phil Mickelson,
who's going to put 1,000? But you may put 100. To pick up 30 grand. I mean.
Were you, may I ask, one of those people?
No. I don't really bet a lot of futures. I did bet $100 on a couple guys because they were real long shots like that. I bet a guy that was 275 to 1, threw $100 on him. By the way, he was 5th going into Sunday. And then I also bet 80 to 1. I had Ooshausen, who was in 3rd. So I had a guy in 3rd and in 5th on Sunday. That was pretty interesting. So I do bet them. Searching around for the best odds, but Phil is a guy that, let me just tell you, I'll tell you my things about Phil, what I feel. And then, he was a big fan favorite there. People went crazy. They were all over him. I understand they're rooting for a legend in the game. And, I judge people by their character a lot. From the people that I know, in the golf world, not the best guy.
Really?
Not the best guy. So I don't want to talk bad about him, though, because he's a legend, great golfer, great performance. And he's a decent tipper, too. I like that. About him. Okay. I judge people by that. But there was a story there, too. And I'm not just going by the Billy Walters story. I'm going by his some of the things he does on and off the of course the golf course. So
wait, I don't know the Billy Walters story. Can you do a quick version?
Yeah, Billy Walters got in trouble for dealing with the CEO of Dean Foods that gave him some inside information supposedly, and they played golf back and forth together, and the stock went up, and he made $40 million or whatever. This is what they say. So and he went away for about 3 years, went to jail. And Phil also profited about $1 million. So Phil is friends with Billy Walters, or was friends with Billy Walters. And so he made himself about $1 million, and he had to give back the $1 million, but he didn't get indicted or anything along with Walters. And I'm told today, if that happened, he would. The rules have changed. The laws have changed. The laws are different now. But so he did give back the money, and some feel he should have testified on Walters' behalf. He should have testified, and he didn't. So that's really all that I want to say.
I get it. Okay. Yeah. NBA playoffs in full swing. I was hoping, I'm from LA. I'm not a Laker fan. I was a Laker fan. Here's the thing. I don't really like basketball. I can take it or leave it.
Yeah.
But I root for the home team. If I live in LA, I'm a Laker fan.
By the way, NBA is one of the hardest things to beat. I'll say NFL sides. That means picking a side, and NBA sides. Toughest two things to beat in sports.
Why is that?
I think the bookmakers just have a grasp on the right line. They put up the right line. There's so much more information out there in the public, whether it's on ESPN or in the media, on Twitter, there's so much more information out there that makes it such a public event that the bookmakers get a better grasp on the line.
And so then with that said, then why isn't the money line the way to go with NBA? I already know what you're going to say, because if it's a favorite and they're minus 380, it's just not worth the squeeze.
Well, you're betting, when you're betting the money line, you're actually betting based on that line of the game being a 7-point favorite or a 2-point favorite. So you're betting. So it actually correlates with the spread. The spread and the money line correlates just like it would for the drawing same parallels to NFL. The spread is -7. That equals a money line of, let's say, 3-1 or whatever. I mean, it can be adjusted either way. I'm saying
right.
So
you're not even getting the right value on the money line side, is what you're saying.
Especially not when you're talking about spreads that are not -105 or -110 each way. When you're talking a money line, you're talking about something -3-1. The comeback's only plus 220 or 240. So there's a lot. There's actually more of a and it should be. It should be actually more though as it goes up. But it actually goes up a little bit too much, in my opinion, when you get up to past the 2-1 mark.
Okay. All right. Will you be betting on you got any horse in the race on this NBA playoffs? Is there any team that I know you don't like basketball, but you just stay away?
Yeah. I don't even watch the games. But I mean,
really?
I have no interest. Maybe I'll watch the final games, but no real interest in the NBA. I'd rather watch the WNBA. I'd rather watch WNBA. I do, because you can bet on that. I mean, it's funny. So that's actually funny. I'll tell you why. This is something that real spontaneous show here. Matter of fact, I love these type of shows. We really don't have too much prepared. We just go back and forth. Yeah. And I love these type of shows. So yesterday, there is a homeless man that sits outside. I live in a really nice high rise in town, and he sits across the way from the high rise. Very, very nice man though, with his cart. And he's got a shopping cart full of stuff, and I'll always go over and say, "Hey, buddy, what's going on? What do you need today or something?" I'll ask him that. So it's not every day I do it or every week, because he moves around a little bit. Sure. So yesterday was an all-time classic. I haven't told anybody this yet. So yesterday I go up to him and I say, "What's up, my man? What are you doing today? You all right? You need anything?" He goes, "You're not going to believe this." He said, "Someone stole my backpack."
Come on.
He said it's unbelievable. He said, "I was sleeping and someone just stole the backpack on me." He said, "I had my socks in there. I had underwears. I had shorts." I said, "Well, what do you need? What size are you?" He says, "Oh, I'm size 40. I said, "All right, I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to get you some stuff." I asked him what kind of stuff he wants. So I go to the store and I get a bag full of stuff. Nothing. It's like $30. I don't care. It doesn't matter if it's $100. That doesn't really matter. So I get a bag full of stuff, exactly what he asked for though. So I go back, I give him the bag, the 3 items. And I also bought a rotisserie chicken from Costco. And I told my wife, I said, "Cut this up. Do me a favor. Cut this up. I want to give it to the guy across the street." Because he always looks out for the neighborhood too, believe it or not. So I said, "Let me give him that." I brought him some juice. I brought him a water, paper plate, napkins, everything. I brought him all that, brought him the clothes. And he said, then he hits me with this. Oh, this is so hard to believe. He says, "Man, you won't believe what happened to me 2 nights ago." I said, "What? You got robbed?" I go, "No, that happened last night." I said, "Okay, what happened?" He said, "I hit 7 out of 7 on Keno." I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I said, I always give him a $20 bill. I was like,
right.
I give you $20 bills all the time for you to get some food for yourself. You're telling me you're spending it on Keno? He's like, "Man, I get lucky." I said, "Listen, Keno's one of the worst games you can ever play, ever. And he doesn't know nothing about me.
Right.
He doesn't know what I do."
Sure.
He goes, "I'll tell you what I'm real good at. The women's basketball." I said, "Wait, you don't bet sports?" He goes, "I bet sports." He goes, he calls me Big Dog. He goes, "Big Dog, let me give you my basketball plays." He says, "Because I am really good at this."
This is an incredible story.
And I was like, "You're really good at women." By the way, I'm losing on women's basketball this year.
Okay.
I'm crushing golf. I'm crushing baseball.
Right.
I guess I don't realize that we're in Vegas and this is how these people get to the situations they get to.
Yeah.
But I mean, even the homeless, John, even the homeless are betting sports. This is a giant thing we're involved with, this sports betting. But,
did he give you any picks, and did you bet them?
I didn't want them.
I'm dying to know.
I didn't want him. I was just like, "I'm good." But he hit 7 out of 7 on Keno. And I was like, "Wow, how much you win?" He said he won $240. I said, "Okay." I said, "All right, that's good." And I said, "But listen, you can't play Keno, I'm telling you." But there's no reason to tell nobody. Once, especially if you hit it, if you win at something, you're always going to go back. It's like the crack cocaine of gambling. Oh, I won that one time.
100%.
I always remember that high I got from that one time, and now you'll chase that high all the time. So anyway,
wait, didn't they used to advertise Keno as like if you hit 7 out of 7, you won $50,000?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's playing 5 cents a spin.
Oh, right.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know the amount he played, but I just, for some reason, I just didn't relate a homeless guy that sleeps outside with his cart to gambling in the casino. I would have. Anyway, it's not going to stop me from giving.
You're a
stuff.
good guy. You're a good guy for doing.
I'm not trying to say I'm a good guy. I would have never.
No, I know you're not. I know you're not.
Listen to me. If this wasn't involving the basketball and the Keno,
of course you wouldn't have
known about it.
I know.
But I mean, so it's actually hysterical that actually happens, though. Not hysterical, but it's just it shouldn't be so coincidental, and it shouldn't be such a big surprise to me to know that the homeless are gambling too.
Yeah. I was in, just a quick story. I was in, when I was living in LA, I was on my way into a gas station and a guy hit me up. "Hey man, you got any spare change?" And I said, "Oh man, all I have is 100. And he goes, "Oh, that's okay. I can break it." And so he pulls out a wad and he's like, "How much you want back?" And he starts counting money. And I'm like, I don't know. You want to just give me 95? He's like, "All right." So he counts off 95. He gives me the 95. I give him the 100.
That's unbelievable.
Unbelievable, right?
You got to work on your hustle a little better. You can't tell people you have money.
Yeah. He's like, "Oh, it's okay. I can break it." All right. Yeah.
Sebastian Maniscalco says that in one of his lines, and you can Google it on.
Yeah, he's great.
About how this homeless people are just like roll out in the bushes and just put their hand out without having a presentation. You have to work on your presentation. So this guy's got to work on his presentation and not tell on himself that he has $95 or more.
Right. Yeah. Okay. In boxing, I can't believe if we're going to talk boxing headlines, the two biggest headlines are from non-boxers. Logan Paul is fighting Floyd Mayweather. That's coming up real soon. Is that a fight you're going to watch? We've talked about it. You're not going to watch it, right? Won't.
Unless I can get like crack streams or something. I don't want to pay for that.
Yeah.
I just have no interest in it's a spectacle. I mean, is there going to be is the undercard 10 guys getting out of a clown car together? I mean, it's just
right.
Come on. I mean,
there's
no judges. There's no judges in this thing.
It's crazy.
It's going to be something that's just done for a public spectacle. I feel. I mean, these guys are making $100 million each, probably more. I mean, whatever. Just no real interest.
And then the most shocking news is that Jake Paul has left Triller. That was the organization that was putting on his fights. And Jake Paul went and signed a Showtime boxing deal. I've got to know your thoughts on this one.
Well, my thoughts are money makes the world go round. I mean, I didn't even know who Jake Paul was until he had that last fight, until the week before or 2 weeks before. I didn't even know my friend was training him. I didn't know any of that. So it just doesn't seem like it was a big thing, but it is, because these guys have giant internet followings of, I don't know, 20 million, 100 million people. I don't know what they have, but so they have these giant followings, and that equals dollars. So it's just amazing. Whoever runs Triller, whoever the media or marketing guy is, boy, I'm sure they had to fire him for not signing up Jake Paul for a 5-fight deal. Let him go to Showtime already right away. Yeah. So it's interesting.
I'm curious to see now if he signs with Showtime Boxing. My biggest complaint with Jake Paul has been, don't run around saying you're a pro boxer until you start fighting pro boxers. If you knock out a retired NBA guy, a retired MMA fighter that was never known for his striking fresh off a hip surgery, and I don't even remember the other guy he beat, maybe a rapper or something, you're not a boxer. But I would imagine with signing a deal with Showtime Boxing, they're not going to make it a spectacle. Like, he's going to have to finally now fight some boxers, right?
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know the specifics behind the deal. So I would think he'd have to find some people to box, that's for sure. But then again, maybe not. If they could bring in them kind of ratings with him fighting people out of the clown car that are popular, right, though, I mean, maybe it's a home run for Showtime. Who knows?
Yeah. I would love to see him fight a real boxer, even if he lost. Like, no shame in that. Like, props to you for getting in the ring against a legit threat, you know? Yeah. There was a real boxing match this past weekend. Did you have any money down on that one?
I did. I had the loser.
No.
I took like 225 though on Ramirez versus Taylor. These were two undefeated fighters and kind of evenly matched. That when I was in the studio in your studio there with Teddy, we were talking about it. Yep. I took 225 and this fight went down to fight time. You can only get like plus 135, plus 140. You could have laid 160. So I actually could have scalped. They call it a scalp when you're taking a larger amount than you're laying and you have a free roll. But I didn't do that. I chose to keep my money, and I don't scalp or middle too often. But it was a really, really good fight, very close. It was 114-112 on all three scorecards. Taylor, by the way, the reason why he did win, because he had two knockdowns. Both rounds were scored 10-8, which that was correct. I thought it was. You could actually score a knockdown round 10-9 in certain situations, but they were 10-8. I thought they were correct to be 10-8, and I scored the fight, and I had Taylor winning exactly that, 114-112. The guy on TV that put it up there had it 115-111. I thought that was a little too much. I thought it was closer than that, 114-112, and I'm glad they got the decision right, though, just for the boxing itself. But some of the I'll tell you what, it's tough to watch a boxing match without my buddy Teddy Atlas being the commentator, because some
he's so
stuff,
good.
He's so good. So
he's so good.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, speaking of putting some money down on some sports bets, it's not too late for you folks to make some money this spring and download the CrackWinds app or go to crackwinds.com. If you download the app, of course, it's available on Apple or Google Play. Crack's been on fire. PGA Golf, you went 5-1 last week with two big underdog winners. And they tell me baseballs, you're hitting at 60%. Is this all true?
Well, and when you say 60%, that doesn't mean a lot. Let me reverse that. It doesn't have to mean a lot, because if you bet 60% and you're betting all favorites, you could be breaking even. But fortunately for my guys, we don't bet favorites. We bet about 75% dogs, 80% dogs. So we have been doing good with baseball, especially first 5-inning plays. The golf is 5-1. Things are going good. We have some good stuff coming up. And listen, I like I said, I enjoy watching baseball. I enjoy betting on baseball. I like the 5-inning line, the 5 innings, because it's a true outcome. You're betting pitcher versus pitcher, not depending on bullpens, not depending on other factors. So especially the extra inning factor with a man starting on second. I will bet games all the time, but I do like betting the first 5s better. Yeah, we're doing good. And CrackWinds have some good stuff coming up. Looking forward to to the summer, and then right into preseason football and NFL props for the football season.
Yeah. And when you're done, after you've downloaded the app, be sure to head on over to WSN.com. They've got all of the latest bonuses, sign-up bonuses, strategy guides, everything. Crack is on there every single day. I mean, every day, right? So that's is your morning ritual cup of coffee, a little bagel or something, and WSN? Is that what?
There's some really good stories. Really, I mean, the industry stories. I have to admit, there used to be a site that I used to go to every day for industry stories. I can't believe they stopped doing that. I mean, so it bothered me so much about 2 years ago. So unbelievably, this opportunity with WSN comes along, and they have all these stories about the industry, and also, of course, like bonuses. And I love going there to read about the different bonuses. And like I said, they have right now, there's one bonus on there that I almost can't believe. They're giving away a bonus at that site. You have to go through WSN, because if you go through other sites or just go to the site itself, you don't get the bonus that WSN has. So they really negotiated some really good bonuses for their viewers and for our listeners. So really cool.
Outstanding. So that's a winning parlay, guys. Hit up CrackWins app or crackwins.com and head over to WSN.com as well. Okay, Bill, before we started today, I heard you would you have some problem or something with Caesars the other day, making a reservation or what happened? Tell me what happened.
This is like an aggravated gambler segment, I guess.
Okay.
So I'm in Atlantic City a couple of weeks ago, and I was getting a reservation. And now they have outsourced their reservations to, I don't know if it's Indonesia or it's the Philippines.
Okay. Whenever far away.
It's a land far away. Whenever they answer the phone and say, "Hello, Mr. William," you're in trouble. So, and that's what they do. Hey, hello, Mr. John.
Oh boy.
We're not going to send this to Orlando. So, but it wasn't that, because they were very nice people, actually, very courteous, very nice people. But the problem is, you waited. I looked at my phone at one point. That was in Atlantic City. Now I was about a half hour. Here in Vegas last week, I called. My phone said 57 minutes. I'm on hold, just waiting to get through for 57 minutes to Caesars main reservation, 1-800-Caesars. I'm like, this is by the way, I have the top tier card. There's no card bigger than the 7-star card. I have 7-star. And there's no special number, but let's not use that. Let's use regular Joe. This is the number for everybody. And after 57 minutes on the phone, someone finally comes on and was very nice and made the reservation for me. But I just would love to know if these guys that took over Caesars from Reno, I guess I forget the name of the company. I would like to know these. They send me an email once in a while, with the president. It's a form letter. Who we kidding? With the president's letter. I would love to know if he knows or his assistant knows what's really going on at 1-800-Caesars, because I'm sure he doesn't. This is the outsourcing of calls. Listen, the whole country's outsourcing calls. I don't mean to pick on Caesars, but I'm just saying. So anyway, that was one thing. Secondly, I noticed something else. The local bars. So someone sends me a picture of this 4-of-a-kind he was dealt at. I don't know if it was Smith's or Albertsons or one of these grocery stores.
Yep.
So he was like, "Hey, 4-of-a-kind, and in the grocery store, people really do win." And I just looked at the payout in the machine, and I was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe how bad." It was 8-5 double bonus. As a matter of fact, these bars have this. And these the local bars, the pubs in town, and almost anywhere you go, gas stations. Now, when I say 8-5, it may not seem like what that makes sense for a lot of people. So people that are in the know, they go by the payout for the full house and the flush. Like I play 9-6 jacks or better, which is a 99.54 return. This particular game of 8-5 double bonus, terrible game. But it's all these games that are in the bars and the grocery stores and the gas stations. They're paying 95% on average, where you can go to the casino. You can go to a strip casino and get 99% on some of the places. So a local casino, you can get higher. So I just think it's so crazy that people take their change and go and play these machines that are so much more of a household than the casinos. But
well, I think they all. So until you just said that, I actually thought it was the reverse.
Wow.
I thought those local spots cater to the locals and they pay out better. That's not the case?
No, absolutely not. Now, granted, I know a guy called me up a couple of years ago and said, hey, there's a promotional thing going on at one of the bars here. It was up by Red Rock. He's like, this is a really good promotion. It's worth about $100 to $200 an hour. And sure enough, I went up there. That particular video poker machine, because of the promotion they were running, was actually in the player's favor. So you'll have certain situations, but just walking cold off the street, no, they're going to whack you over the head. These places for compared to the local casinos, especially, they're going to whack. So I don't recommend anyone playing ever in a bar or a sports, even a sports bar.
Like PTs, like that place PTs.
I don't want to really name anything.
Sorry. Know. Okay.
But no, because I don't want to say that we said, because I haven't been in the PTs, but I'm sure they're amongst them. Now, granted, now that you say that, PTs, do they have food, John? I'm not a bar person.
They do. They have food. I feel like I see them all over town. I've never been inside.
So, you haven't? Okay.
No, I've never been in.
Because a lot of these places you'll go in and play. They'll give you your drinks for free, and they'll give you a meal for free. So if you put that into the equation, it does bring up the house. It brings up your advantage.
Right. It could be worth $20, maybe.
Yeah. No. I shouldn't say advantage. It brings down the household. It brings it up from 95 to maybe 96 or 97, 98%. Right. But I don't know if that's the case anymore, because everyone, look at some of these casinos now. You can go to a bar. Someone just mentioned something. They went to a bar on the Strip, and he was playing. And the bartender said, "No, the light has to go on first." And the guy's like, "What do you mean the light has to go on first?" "Yeah, you got to put $10 through the machine before the light goes on, before I can give you a drink for free, a bottle of water or whatever you want, or a mixed drink or whatever, a beer," which is unbelievable. Usually you just go to a bar, put money in, and, play $1 a hand or 50 cents a hand, and no one's going to say nothing to you. They're going to give you your drink because they know they're going to get tipped too. So I'm sure a bartender doesn't like this either. So so anyway, that's going on too. It's just the casinos just trying to get more money out of you. So, and here at Wise Kracks, we try to get more money for you. So we tell you what to avoid and what to play. And I would avoid any kind of those bars outside the casino that are really price gouging you on the video poker, unless you're getting a lot back in return, and not just reward points. I'm talking about the free drinks. I'm talking about the free meals, and you have some fun. It's a local place, and smoke them if you got them, I guess.
Smoke them if you got them. Nice. In the last week or two, I've had multiple people send me texts asking me if I have seen this show on HBO Max called Generation Hustle, which I have not. Have you seen this show?
Yes, I'm up to episode 7. Fantastic. Recommended for anyone. It's about different. Every episode has a different factual story. So it's like the German heiress that was in New York. And she hustled all these people out of money, and she actually went to the banks, and the banks didn't even do their due diligence because she had her own charity, and it's unbelievable the way she presented herself and talked, and that's just one episode. The one that I couldn't believe was this 14-year-old kid from Detroit who claimed he was all of these supermodels on Instagram. And, he was working in conjunction with some and building up their profiles. And he was talking to the guys like he was the, I'm sure it's even girls who were pretending they were sex people or whatever you want to call them. I can't think of the right, porno girls or whatever. And he was pretending he was them. And he made millions of dollars by the time he was 17. And I mean millions. And he literally was 17 years old. He got $3 million, and he started when he was 14. And that's episode 2 or 3. Watch that one. Wow. Okay. Wow. And now he's writing a book. He got a book deal for like $1.5 million showing the art of the hustle. Like the things he was hustling.
And this is a new show, or has it already been out for a few seasons?
I think it's just it's only 10 episodes. I think it's pretty good. It's on HBO Max.
Okay.
And just different arts of the hustle and things. Yeah. And there's all different ones about total different subjects. In the end, it's all about hustling.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. I'm going to check it out. And you have a story from this past weekend or something?
Speaking of hustling.
Yeah.
So I was in a casino, which gives me a really good deal. I'm not going to name which one. They give me $500 a week to play video poker. They don't have the best machines in my limits. They have quarters and 50 cents. They have smaller machines, but it's just too tedious for me. I have to play a multi-play. So I'm playing a multi-play machine. I'm playing 10 play dollars, which is $50 a hand. And they give me like I said, they give me that $500 a week to play. And the last two times I have a stop loss, so I'll lose $3,000 and quit. But I've done very well. At the beginning, I actually was up about 20 some thousand. I'm probably up about $15,000 right now, lifetime.
Wow.
I keep track. So I went in the other day after two consecutive losses, by the way. I lost 3,000 and 3,000 back-to-back weeks. And then I go in the other day and I hit a royal for $4,000. And this kid with a skateboard comes in, real scraggly type. You could tell he's just not he's a hustler. He's a flea, as we call him in the business. They're coming in, looking for money, looking for vouchers and whatever it may be. And he comes up like right by me and he's like, "Yeah, man, great hit." He goes, "You think I can get $20?" And I can't believe these casinos don't just watch what's going on at the door. The security guards at most of the doors now. I mean, a lot of these places, especially this is a locals place. And I was like, "Buddy, come on, move it along." So now I watch him go up to a 75, 80 lady, was pretty old, go up to her and totally scare her. I mean, just like, "Miss, do you have any money, any change or anything?" And I watch it because it's only about 4 machines down. I can't get that New York out of me, John. I'm no tough guy, but I kind of play one on Wise Kracks. But I go right up to him. I said, get the F out of here. I'm starting to curse now. I'm right in his face. If they're hustling me, I'm not saying I'm a big tough guy, but I'm 6 foot tall. The black hat intimidates people. I'm a kind of a burly guy. I'm a big guy. If they're hustling me, of course they're going to hustle the older people.
Sure.
And so, sure enough, he walks away to somebody else. And now I catch a slot attendant going by on the radio. I said, "Listen, you got to get security over here." She calls on her little microphone that was on her arm, and nobody answers. Finally, a shift manager, she gets the shift manager who was on break, I guess, drinking a coffee or something. She gets him and she says, "Oh, he's coming down now." And they're going to, I said, "All right, pay my money." I pay out. I cash out a $660 voucher from the machine also. Now I go to cash the voucher and the machine was out of money. So it spits out another voucher to take it to the cage. As I go to the cage, I see the security guy come down and I see that he's dressed and he's, by the way, giant guy, big bulky guy. And I say to him, "What happened over there?" And I said, "Listen, they tried to call you a few times. I don't know what's up, but you got a guy over here that's hustling people. Like, give him the definition." He looked through me. He looked at me like I was he just looked at me like I was complaining. And I went to the cage, get my money, and there's people in front of me, so I'm waiting a couple minutes. And now I see the security guy go talk to the slot manager. Now I see a casino host come over. I see another security guard come over out of nowhere. They're all talking together. As I get my voucher cashed, I walk past them again to leave, and I had to say something because the guy's like looking at me again. I said, "You're the shift manager today?" I said, I wouldn't trust you to sweep the floor. What are you doing? Get on your job here. Look at the cameras. Find this guy. Find him. Take pictures of him. Get him out of here. This is what your GM wants. Trust me. I'll let you know what your job is. And I walked out. I really wanted to curse the guy dead. I said I was loud too because I was really pissed off that they didn't. Yeah. They looked at me. I said this to him. I said to the host there who knows me. I said, "You see, sweetie, he thinks I'm the problem. Look at him. I'm the problem. It's unbelievable. I'm the problem. Yeah. Not that what I want to say is, John, let's make crime illegal again. Let's just make crime illegal again. That's all I can tell you. I mean, this is casinos here. What's going on?"
Yeah, it's crazy. Everyone wants to do the bare minimum.
It was just unbelievable. Sorry to be ranting about some.
No, I like the rant. I like the rant
and talking about some.
And I like that even throughout that, you won't name the casino. You still, because at the end of the day, you back Vegas Bill
Yeah,
Krackenberger,
I do.
don't
I
you?
do it. I'm not gonna make them have bad business or even anybody. I really don't like to mention even Caesars, just that I did because that was the place, and
Right.
I would like their executives to know what goes on. What Joe Public? How about this? Some people after an hour they're hanging up. Heck with that. Let me go stay at MGM. Let me go stay at whatever, the Sahara, whatever. So anyway.
Yeah. So, Crack, I mean, is it too early to start talking about who you're going to bet on? Are you going to bet on, place a bet on Mayweather and
fight's in
Logan Paul?
The fight's in like 10 days, isn't it? I mean, we haven't
June
even
6th.
No one's even talked about this fight. I'm actually looking here.
It doesn't have the same.
No one's even talking about it, like fighting wise.
It doesn't have the same hype that any Jake Paul fight has had. I don't think.
Yeah, no, this is, I haven't really heard about it too much. I'm looking at the odds, and the odds is not at any of these brick and mortar casinos that I'm looking at. I'm looking at them at the offshore world, Pinnacle and Chris, minus about 18, 19 to 1. Well, I'll just tell you this, John. How do you lay 18 or 19 to 1 on something that is not being decided by judges who I don't even know who's judging it? Is it going to be the announcers like the Mike Tyson fight that he had recently? I just don't know. Like I tell you right now, there can always be funny stuff going on when there's hundreds of millions of dollars at stake here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend anyone betting their money on a fight with these kind of situations.
Would you consider betting the draw just because that could be like a way to fix things, right? It's a way to fix it without hurting anybody's. It just builds it up. Maybe.
Yeah. What a great what a great thing to say. Really, I mean,
when we were with Teddy Atlas, when as you mentioned earlier, you brought him over here, which was really, thank you for that. I mean, it was really a cool thing to have him. No, I mean, to have a legend like that in this studio was really, really exciting. But, off camera, I had asked Teddy, I don't know if you remember, I said, what do you think of the Mayweather and Logan Paul fight? And he said something kind of interesting. He said, obviously, Floyd's the better. I mean, Floyd's the arguably the greatest boxer ever, whether, subjective, whether or not you feel that way or not. But he said, Floyd's older. Floyd doesn't fight anymore. Sooner or later, if you keep flirting with, fighting these young guys, someone might just catch you with a puncher's chance.
Yeah.
Right?
So, yeah. Now, Teddy didn't give out an official pick yet, but there you go. That's exactly right. And, Floyd's very smart, though. Probably the most intelligent boxer of our life here, really, that I've seen. He picked the perfect opponents. I mean, he couldn't fight against these guys today. These young guys today. He wouldn't choose that fight at his age, and he's smart for not doing that. He knows what he's doing. So I would just be careful out there, guys, about picking anything in this fight. I know you think Floyd automatically and stuff, and I'm not saying bet on the other guy. I'm just saying maybe stay away from it altogether, or when the prices come out for a draw, see if that's an appetizing price. Good deal, John.
Yeah. Also, I don't know, while we're on it, it's Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., hopefully I got that right, is fighting Anderson Silva, former MMA legend, UFC Hall of Famer, in a boxing ring in Mexico, I think in June. Do you give – now that's a legit fight. Would you bet on that or no?
I mean, I remember Chavez got paid $10 million for one fight. I just never thought he was that kind of a boxer to get that kind of money and stuff. So I don't know. It sounds like another one of those clown car fights to me. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. I'm going to bet the draw. I'm going to bet the draw on all of them just because I think if there was shady business, it does set it up for another payday, and that's what these guys are all about, right? Yep. So I'm not going to say all in.
No, listen, that's what happened with the Tyson fight, right?
Right.
I think you can get like 10 to 1. You got 10 to 1 with the draw. No one even thought that was going to be a draw.
Right.
But it was more of like a exhibitional kind of thing, and this may be the same thing. So good. All right.
Fair enough. Let's move on. All right. So we've got a Twitter question this week. We haven't done Twitter questions in a while.
Yeah.
And I love this guy's name. This is at Ted Danson. Not the real Ted Danson, but just a guy that goes by the name of Ted Danson.
I'm pulling it up myself.
Yeah, he wants to know. He says median home sales highest in history.
No, well,
Here in Vegas, I'm assuming.
Las Vegas is really almost out of control here. It really is. So median home sales are at the highest in history. A 20% gain over last year is also a record. Prices in Las Vegas are accelerating at 3.5% per month. Home builders are at a 2-year backlog, raising prices weekly with no pushback. I mean, it is unbelievable what's going on here in Las Vegas and across America, by the way. I retweeted this, and someone talked about prices in Monmouth County, New Jersey, where I used to live, and all across America. It's not just here. And our buddy, before he got on, talked about in Los Angeles at some of these places like Manhattan Beach, maybe even like places down by San Diego, Del Mar, La Jolla. They're selling for over cost, over asking price.
It's so funny you say that. I just had on Action Junkies, I had a girl who's a former WWE diva, and she was an actress model, Amy Weber, on the show earlier this week. And she's a realtor in LA. She said she does kind of high-end homes, let's call it a couple million up, whatever. They're getting an average of 40 to 50 bids on each house.
That's unbelievable.
She had a client that was mad at her for just getting 1 million over asking price.
Wow, that's so crazy.
Can you imagine?
Wait till all these freebies they stop giving away all these freebies. I'm telling you. Wait till you see what happens here. I mean, there has to be some kind of a correction. I'm not saying it's going to be a crash. People saying a crash. I say more of a correction. This can't continue on this record torrid pace.
Yeah, a lot of people, but you know what? People were saying that a year ago. I agree with you, but it's crazy how it still hasn't happened. Just this in the past week or two, I've had multiple big name athletes, a couple that have been on our show with us, hit me up and say, "Hey, do you have a good realtor in Vegas? I'm thinking about moving." Yeah,
cool.
Yeah,
good stuff, man. See these kind of shows, how we can talk about almost anything.
I know, I love it. I love it.
Good stuff.
Man. Well, listen, time flies, and time just flew. We're done. We've reached the end of of our Memorial Day weekend show. Let's call it.
Yeah. This was a great show, and look forward to next week's. And we don't always have to have a guest. We both could have reached out and had a guest on this week.
Yeah.
I just thought there was so much to talk about. I just thought it would be. We don't have to do a guest this week. I mean,
I agree. But we should say that next week we do have former baseball GM Jim Duquette is going to join us. He was the GM of the Mets when my friend Chris Benson played for the Mets and the Orioles. And he's also been an MLB analyst. So I'm really excited to sit down and talk to Jim next week with you. That's going to be a good time. And when are you and I going back on the road? Do we know? I'm ready. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play.
We're going to have to go here in a couple months from baseball season when football season starts for sure.
Okay.
So,
Fair enough.
Good deal.
All right, Mr. Krackenberger, I will see you next week, and we will both see all of you watching next week on Wise Kracks.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thank you.